Oh my God, SmackDown's amazing! Hi, this is Smark City. We're giddily happy. I was tweeting, so I'm the dude you were talking to tonight. I'm Alex. Drew's with me. Hi, Drew. Say hi, Drew.
Hi, Drew.
Hi, Drew. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, this show. What the fuck? Why is this show so much better than Raw?
It,
How is it always? Oh my God! I say something. I don't know. How is it so much better than Raw? Like, I don't get it.
I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say.
Well, that's not helpful because this is a podcast and one of us has to fucking talk.
Well, you usually like talking so much.
I do. Yeah, I do. I'll figure something out. I'll improvise. Anyway, what the fuck, man? Like, how is this show so linear and like the fucking wrestlers have motives and interests and stakes and reasons for doing the things they do, and like fucking Cena stands tall at the end and we're not bitching. How does that?
This is the year of our Lord, 2016.
The year of our Lord and Savior AJ Styles.
Yes, and cross for Jesus.
I need him to call himself the Phenomenal Lord at some point. That'd be great.
Oh man, you know, in 2016, you got John Cena standing tall after AAing two guys and holding the WWE title
on the verge of breaking the Ric Flair record that nobody like. It's, you know how like in baseball people didn't want Barry Bonds to break the record and shit. Yeah, well it's fucking John Cena. So like you have that tendency to not want him to break the record, and on top of it, it's the lightning rod of hatred, John Cena. How is this being so accepted? I know how it is. I know how it is.
In 2014, he faced Brock Lesnar for that same championship. And when it was being touted as the 16th championship run, beating Ric Flair, everyone booed him.
God. My God, this fucking show.
It's amazing what a little bit of time can do. And I'm telling you right now that US Open Challenge completely changed I would say most people's perspectives on John Cena.
My perspective was never bad on John. I always thought he was fantastic. I just didn't think they did enough with him to make me care. Like, he always was just above any kind of influence. And now he's got these motives that are totally like he's dealing with time like creeping up upon him, and he's trying almost to accomplish more in like an effort to stave off time. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to do all these things outside of wrestling and say like to prove to himself, like, I haven't lost it. Like I'm better than ever. And it's such a compelling story, and they have everyone by just like the cockles of your heart. Like, this is a show that will move you and make you feel shit, and you don't have to worry about like the fucking like awful booking of like they're not going to end. My point is they're not going to end Cena, Ambrose, Styles by saying, you know what, you guys are so competitive and physically dominant, we're just going to make you a 3-way tag team. Like, you're not going to get that. It's going to be one of them are going to win, the other two are going to lose. They're going to have to deal with it. And that's awesome. Oh man, I love this show. So let's kind of recap it in chronological order. Drew, you were out eating cheesecake or some shit, some famous place in Brooklyn or New York
Junior,
or whatever.
Shout out to Junior's phenomenal strawberry cheesecake.
Shout out to Junior's in that one state and city that like 99% of our viewing public will not live in. But yeah, anyway, so cheesecake's amazing. So I'm not gonna like bang on you for that. Anyway,
so Brooklyn, what the fuck?
Brooklyn's bangable. So I don't know. Anyway,
we went somewhere with that.
That was the point, and then move on. And you're not supposed to point it out. The point was it was supposed to like have. You already ruined the moment, so whatever.
I ruin everything.
You ruin moments. You do ruin moments. Anyway, let's start with this show and how this went. it starts with Randy Orton, and he's coming out talking about how Bray Wyatt is actually scared of him. And, there's no problem with that. But if you're an actual man, come out face your
Actually, can I
fears, all
cut
that
you off
shit.
for a second?
Yeah.
I just want to cut you off for 1 second and just
Go for it.
tell you that it shows you how good tonight's show was, that we're actually doing this in chronological order and not starting with what we just saw.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is SmackDown is viewed as a complete thing. It's not just pick and choose which storylines you care about. Does that make sense?
The whole show is
the whole show is meant to be viewed together, and they give you different flavors and different things, where you have kind of this creepy, what the fuck is happening thing with Orton and Bray Wyatt, and then you have on this side, you have Alexa Bliss trying to make a name for herself, attacking the babyface, and all these things that are happening. And what is that noise? Anyway, that's a noise.
That's not coming from me, whatever that is.
No, it's coming from our house anyway. Point being,
the aliens are coming for you.
Yeah, the aliens are coming. Point being, there's something for everyone, and this is the way that it was meant. This is the way that WWE wants it to go. You know what I mean? This is how it's supposed to go. And instead of I have no care about half the stuff on Raw, and then about a quarter of the stuff on Raw I kind of care about, and then there's one feud I do care about. That's how it feels like on Raw. SmackDown is meant to be, you view it in its entirety, and the whole show is the brand. You know what I mean? It's like NXT. You view the whole thing. And I think that's why we're talking about it in chronological order. Anyway, point being, it starts out with Orton making that claim, and then Bray leading him on a wild goose chase all night with just creepy segments. And they have 6 or 7 of them.
Creepy, but not corny, not tacky. Actually, really interesting to watch. And I thought it was also interesting that they had this promo playing on the commercials for this new horror movie at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But it was I don't remember, the Ouija board movie.
Yeah.
So it's it gave you that creepy feeling during the show too. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it wasn't horror movie level, because kids and stuff.
Well, no, of course.
I would have ideally I would have had it be a little darker and a little more oh shit, this fucking Wyatt dude's insane. But they didn't take it to that level. They just kind of played with. He was just he was like an animal playing with its prey before eating, kind of thing. He was just trying to get into Orton's head, make him think. And then it turns out that Orton finds him, and it seemingly looks like Orton gets the better of Wyatt. And then there's that weird glitchy thing at the end that who knows what that was about, but it was awesome. I
swear to God, the production truck got possessed. That was the creepiest thing.
And it ends with he's singing, he's got the whole world in his hands, and it's Bray, but it's Orton in the chair. But then they're showing footage of Bray sitting in the chair, leaning forward and talking. And it's what is happening? I don't know what's going on.
You can't convince me that the person was not just possessed by a demon.
Well, I will give you that. Point being, that was spectacular. And one part of me wants to nitpick and just say we need Wyatt to get some wins here. We need him to start looking stronger. But with that ending, I don't know who looks strong. I just know I'm intrigued, So
yeah, it was.
There you go.
It was such a good segment. It was all the segments put together. It would look like a kind of like a little mini thriller.
Yeah, like a teaser for a thriller. But man,
so now let's talk about the next thing, which I just came into when I got home and I turned on the show. I saw the Usos come out.
They got new music.
Brand new music.
Oh, it was so They were such douchebags. It was such douchey music. I love it. It's
What
so
was your-
great.
What did you call them on the Twitter machine?
I called them two things. I called them they look like gangsters from Grand Theft Auto, and I said also shit. Oh yeah, I said they were about to. It was like they were about to perform on America's Best Dance Crew. the shit they were wearing, it looked like they were performers on that show. First off, I love that show. I wish they bring it back. If you never watched that, pretty cool show. Yeah, I'll find you some stuff. It was a cool show. Anyway, they come out and they look so just so evil, just so
good.
It's just so good. Just so good. And they come out and they're fighting with the fucking Ascension as a tag team against American Alpha and the tag team champions.
Normally would be like, come on. This is
like, come on. And instead, the Ascension's just kind of there, but like, that's fine. And it ends with the Usos injuring Gable again and getting the win on a pin on Heath Slater, I believe. So they look amazing. American Alpha look like they're being victimized. If they could ever get Gable healthy, they'd have a shot. And now it looks like the tag team titles are in serious jeopardy already. So, I'm in love with this feud and the tag team.
I cannot wait to listen because I like listening to the actual theme song in my headphones, in my ears. Yeah, just to actually like get a grasp of
the subtleties of the music. Yeah,
the arena sound.
Yeah, I totally get you, and it's just incredible. Like
from what it sounded like it absolutely fits what's going on with them right now.
Oh yeah, and it was like slow hip hop. Like, yo, yeah, we're walking slowly to the ring. What you gonna do?
We'll call them Thug Life Usos.
Thug Life Us. Thug Goose. Just gonna call them the Goose. Anyway, all that's great. The tag team scene in SmackDown is amazing, whereas the one on Raw is in shambles.
What is the tag division on Raw?
New Day. New Day's New Day, and then the other tag teams can't get over because New Day.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
So, yeah, and let me bring this up because I think this is actually the next match, so it fits in our little chronological breakdown here. But, so I just said that, like, no one can get over because New Day, right? SmackDown, on the other hand, brings up 3 brand new women wrestlers, and Nikki Bella proceeds to put each and every one of them over and over and over and over and over. And again, tonight, she lost to Carmella in a tag match. Carmella, Natalya versus Nikki and Naomi. And
Carmella has Carmella in the pin like every week on SmackDown on Nikki Bella?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Because Nikki Bella is like one of the most well-known women wrestlers in WWE history. Like, she is up there. And that's kind of sad when you think about the scale of women's wrestling in WWE over time. But Nikki Bella's up there. She's up there with Trish and Lita, like, in my opinion. She's up there. And it doesn't necessarily mean, one's better or not. It doesn't matter. In terms of exposure, in terms of name, she's up there. And she's losing constantly. And here's the thing. They can play it off as like, well, she's coming back from like a neck surgery. So like it makes sense. But at the same time, it gives so much parity to the division. And like people matter. Carmella matters. Alexa Bliss matters. And it's not just one person, because when one person makes a division, like the tag team division on Raw, it's shit. It's just shit. So, I mean, what do I say? That's what it is. So, again, credit to SmackDown. That match was good too, by the way. You want to say anything about it?
It tells you something that now when Natalya goes, yay, I actually don't mind anymore.
Yeah, like nothing offends you.
It's actually, I did it on my own personal Twitter at Nicholas Drew 91. By the way, I cheap pop.
No, that's like, first off, it's not cheap pop because no one's
I
popping
meant
to it.
plug.
I'll let it slide. Cheap plug.
I
Yes.
meant plug.
And I'll let it go because this show is amazing.
And our show.
Yeah, and our show's amazing. So there you go.
And my Twitter is amazing. Please follow me. So I went, yay!
The gayest Twitter there ever was. That should be your Twitter bio. That'd be funny.
I'm gonna let that go because this was a great show tonight.
Anyway,
Natalia's yay is winning me over, and I didn't think I was gonna say that ever. Carmella, fierce, just great healing. You know, like when she was a face, I didn't give a shit about her at all. Like she was just there. I was like, oh, okay. She should have been with Enzo and Cass on Raw. Naturally, WWE fucked it up, and she was going to go nowhere. And then all of a sudden, boom, heel turn. She's like one of the top heels in the division now. Actually, she pretty much
she's the top heel.
It's Alexa, and then Carmella.
Yeah,
like number one, number two. Right?
Yeah. I mean, like Alexa is getting the first shot. I don't know if that makes her the top heel, because I think the strongest heel right now is Carmella. You know, I mean, that's.
I don't know. I would say if Carmella's not number two, then she's like the 1A to Alexa.
Yeah, it's incredible, dude. It's the fact that they've been able to get 3 brand new women wrestlers, over so well, so quickly, when Raw can't get, like, you've seen the cruiserweights who are just immensely talented, and they're getting, chants that are taking over the show. Like, it just shows you there's such a difference in the way these two shows are run. And everything we've ever been told about Vince McMahon fits Raw. Everything we've seen with our own eyes of how Triple H books a show is shown on SmackDown. And I hate being that guy. I hate being the guy that, like, that's how you hear everything. You always hear Vince is the bad and Triple H is the good. And I'm like, that's too simplistic. That's not the way real life works. But it's true. Like, everything I've evidenced with my own eyes. I've seen how Triple H books a show. I've seen it on NXT. I've seen it in the Cruiserweight Classic. He ran those. SmackDown's being run the exact same way. And it's just phenomenal. It's so good. And I'm so happy. So, I mean, I don't know, man. If we're done with this tag match, I think next was another segment that I'm just so baffled. I don't know how I even care about this.
Yep, I know exactly what it was.
Miz versus Ziggler. And
title versus career.
Career! Where did that come from? How? Oh my goodness. First, okay, if you didn't watch this, they were in Cleveland, Ohio tonight, which is Miz and Ziggler both claim as their hometown, even though I don't think either of the ones are technically from Cleveland.
Actually, I think Miz is technically from Cleveland.
Is he? Okay. Or he's just claiming it. Or okay, yeah. I think what he did was he claimed he was from like Los Angeles or something, Hollywood for a while, because he's Miz and whatever. Anyway, Miz comes out and he's like, they do a fucking video of, hey, look at your hometown hero and all this shit. And then he comes out. Yeah, and he comes out and kind of plays it up babyface for just a second before trashing Cleveland, being like, this is the best y'all can give your champion. Like, I'm the only hero in Cleveland. That LeBron James dude and all those fucking wins you got there don't matter. I'm the real hero. And then he starts blasting on Ziggler's parents in the audience. And Ziggler comes out, and Ziggler proceeds to give this impassioned promo that nearly brought himself to tears. And then he says, one more time, you and me, I'll put my career on the line, and And either way this happens, I'll finally be out of my misery. How good is that line? And how good is that promo? And how good is this? How did this happen? How do I care what happened, Drew? Give me some context. Give me some reason. Because I don't. These two wrestled in a chicken suit and Colonel Sanders costume, and they promoted it. And now I care so much about this feud when I shouldn't care at all. What happened?
What we never thought would happen in 2016, we have sympathy for Dolph Ziggler.
We have sympathy for Dolph Ziggler because that line, that last line, the one that I mentioned, struck me so hard because it implies that his whole career has been miserable because he loves wrestling so much and can never get what he wants from wrestling. And he gives so much every time because he's just in vain trying to earn the adulation that he hopes he can one day achieve, and he's never gotten there.
You want to know something, too?
It's such a sad story, and he loves it so much, and you want to love him in return because that's the way we hope this kind of story should end, right? And, like, this is so much different than what Ziggler has done previously. And we used to be like, well, we love Ziggler, but WWE just ruins it. And now Ziggler has spoken up, and it rings true above everything that he's ever had to go through. And now I care like hell. And I've always liked Ziggler, but that line, like I'm still like
it's only the past couple of weeks.
Fuck, man.
It's only the past couple of weeks now for me that I've started caring about Ziggler again.
I didn't care until tonight. That line got me.
You know what line got me?
What?
Things you don't love always love you back. The things you love don't always love you back.
Yeah. That was a little, it was a little cliche for me. I think that last line was so just from the heart.
I can see, but I have a personal relationship with that line where you may have a
I hear you. I hear you. I totally hear you.
Yeah. The only thing about me is that I discovered that what I did love, I eventually fell out of love with, which was what I thought my career was going to be. Yeah. And for a long time, I worked in my career, which was I was going to be a teacher. But silly me. By the way, if anyone's listening to this and you want to go into the New York City Department of Education as a teacher, good Lord,
no bueno.
Don't do it.
No bueno.
Don't do it, man. Or woman.
That's sad. And just as a small aside, like our teachers should be like revered in society.
Oh, absolutely.
The people that instill wisdom in our children should be fucking revered and should be, I don't know, should be treated better. Anyway,
for a long time, my passion was that. And where I worked for a long time, I didn't get that passion back. And that line hit me because I really felt for Ziggler there. I was Ziggler, and WWE was my job. And we all know the storied history between the two. With Vince not really wanting to push him anymore because he was injury prone. And after, his big Raw after WrestleMania win 3 years ago, and then he got injured like 2 months later or something like that.
Yeah.
It just, that was...
It's incredible.
That's what hit me. And it was like, you know what? I am going to do something I did not think I was going to do right now. Right here on Smark City Live. Uh-oh. I apologize to Dolph Ziggler for shitting on him.
Well, figuratively.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Sometimes in wrestling, when you're a fan especially, you kind of become subconsciously or consciously fickle. And I was fickle And I realized it last night after I saw a lot of other wrestling fans being fickle. And now I understand, you don't want to be what you hate. And I hate fickle fans, and I don't want to be a fickle fan. So I am publicly apologizing to Dolph Ziggler for any shitheading that I did to him. Because you want to know something? When it comes to, and I mean, we talk about this with Bray, how much WWE fucks him over too. Although they seem to, they seem to actually be bringing it back a little bit. I did like his segments tonight, all his talking segments too, which is not a usual occurrence for me.
Yeah, it's just going to take a little time with him, but
And
yeah.
even, when we talk about Roman Reigns too,
Mm-hmm.
people turn on not just Roman or Bray or Dolph, they turn on any wrestler on a dime for any reason. It's like, oh, well, we don't like what this person's doing. It's like Dean. This happened with Dean. Dean Ambrose, a lot of people like Dean Ambrose. And then Dean Ambrose did that Austin podcast, and you just saw a constant shitting on him from everywhere. And it's like, well, you know what? Maybe you don't see it the way he sees it. Maybe because everyone wants to think that they're in the know and a backstage person, and everyone wants to, be so knowledgeable about the wrestling business. But the problem is that you're not in the wrestling business most of the time. 9 times out of 10, the people you see on Twitter, the people you see in forums that talk about this stuff, hell, even me and the person that I'm talking to right now, Mr. Alex Briggs, none of us are in the wrestling business. So we don't really know what it's like, truly. You know what I mean? It's not something that you can, as just a fan, it's not something that you can comment on like your word is the Bible.
The truth seems to be hidden until those moments like Ziggler tonight where it finally gets revealed, and it's a very emotional revealment, it always seems to be something that, the status quo is very fickle. People will jump back and forth between they'll jump back and forth between which wrestlers they care about and all this stuff, and it's very like this the normalcy of anything in life can be monotonous and mundane at times. But then you get something like Ziggler got tonight, and it brings you out of the monotony. It makes you feel more than you normally do, and it makes you think more than you normally do, and it matters. Those are the moments that matter. Those are the moments that make a show or anything worth doing. And I mean, credit to Ziggler. It's just incredible.
It's and we got a couple people that, and I want to bring this up too. We have 2 guys in our chat thingy on YouTube.
My boy Edouard, he was hanging out with me on Twitter. What's up, man?
Yep. We had Daniel Price and we got Edouard Garcia. Both of them completely right. Daniel Price says it's not the fault of the wrestlers, it's the shitty booking. And Edouard says not just the booking, the writers too. And you want to know something? That is something that just doesn't get brought up as much.
Yeah, and Daniel Price said Kevin Dunn's a shithead. Like I've heard so many stories about how bad Kevin Dunn is, and I said it a little while ago. Like I hate being the guy to just take that at face value, but you hear so many stories, and then you watch the show, and you're like, "Fuck, you're right." It kind of is Kevin Dunn, and I feel like the writers, they have a lot of soap opera writers. They don't have very many. Like I feel like they get writers from the same background, and that's not good. You want all different types. You want a horror writer. I think that's something they should get. I think you want a writer of like poetry even. Like you want more than just oh, we have tension in our relationship or some shit. And yeah, man, there's also the problem with Vince is very heavy-handed with changing things, and sometimes the writers have ideas that are good ideas, apparently, and then they just get scrapped because Vince's opinion goes. Point being, yeah, it's such a crazy fiasco behind the scenes, and you've always got to keep that in mind when you watch the show, and you're just like, this is not fucking clicking with me, and that's how Raw's been for a while, and it just doesn't fucking click. This show clicks. SmackDown clicks. It makes you care, you know? It's just,
I
man,
mean, you get it from the whole show that there's passion, there's desire to make the crowd and the fans happy, and you just don't get that with Raw.
there's excitement. There's excitement and a willingness to put yourself in the show with SmackDown that I don't think you have with Raw. That's the key to wrestling. Good wrestling is when you're willing to suspend your disbelief. And it's hard to – that's something that writers for hundreds of years have been trying to do. A lot of it came via plays and stuff where, you know, you would try to suspend your disbelief when you had unlikely or supernatural events happening. And good writing makes you do it. You will subconsciously submit to the story.
And you know what the funny thing is too? It used to be that it was like a cliche to say, "Oh, I wish wrestling was less scripted." And you know, like things of like what made you think about, or you know, like I guess almost in the "it's still real to me, damn it" type of
Yeah,
fans that's out there
it's
that
very
people always
complicated.
crap on.
Yeah, it's
But
very complicated.
at the same time, you have to see, you know what? Maybe it should be this way. Maybe people who say, you know, it's too scripted, it's not as I mean the violence, you know, all that stuff. I don't need to see chair shots to that.
The 7 hours of WrestleMania was just yeah, it totally was. That was too much wrestling.
Yes,
Um,
I agree with that, Daniel Price.
yeah, I think they said that WrestleMania might be even longer this year. As a quick note, which would just be anyway.
But yeah, you know, I don't agree with people who want to see like chair shots. I don't, you know, with all the concussion stuff that's out now.
Yeah, that doesn't fix that anymore. That doesn't fix it. You know, and we're asking the right questions. I feel like WWE needs to internally ask these questions as well. In my opinion, it's a snowball effect of bad writing takes me out of the moment. It takes me out of that suspension of disbelief. And then I start nitpicking because I see things because I'm not just accepting the show as a show. And it's just, you know, it's a one makes the other worse kind of situation. Whereas with SmackDown, there were probably mistakes tonight. I didn't notice because I was just enraptured with the spectacle of the show. And I'm sure you could nitpick if you sat down and tried to point out bad things on the show. I'm sure you could, but because I'm into it, because the writing is good, I'm not in that mode. And I think that's really the key. Like if I were to have a philosophy for booking a show, I would focus on getting the best writers I possibly could, right? And I would lean on them. I would give them the ability to write stuff and stay out of it. I'd give them the ability to get a little edgy at times. But then at the end, I would also tell the performers, you have free reign to improvise if necessary. If there is something that is you feel in the moment, go with it. So I think that's kind of merging the two. I think first off, you got to have really good writing. But I think you also have to give the wrestlers, your best guys, the freedom to go out and do something special and real, you know?
Yeah, I mean there's so much that goes into this, and it would It's like, you know what it is? Raw is like what WWE is now, but SmackDown is like what WWE used to be, in a way.
Ah,
Minus, minus, some like Attitude Era, nonsense. Like,
SmackDown. I don't know. Like SmackDown is being. I don't know what with that, but SmackDown is being booked a certain way that very few of their shows have been booked that way throughout time. SmackDown in like the early 2000s was amazing, and it was booked kind of similar to this. This is the most consistent run of success that I've seen from SmackDown, and also just WWE on their main roster in a while. And by the way, Arn Anderson said wrestlers aren't working enough. What? Just read that in the comments. How is that the opinion? Don't they wrestle like 300 times a year? Like, I mean, I think once a day is enough. Yeah, they work way too much.
Yeah, Daniel said it's on an episode of Table for Three. By the way, Table for Three is a fantastic show on the network.
Yeah, it's good. Show. It's a really good show.
I have to check that out.
Yeah, they're like WWE gives us really good content at times, but then their flagship show is just
trash.
It's just It's a dumpster fire. When they figure out the writing and they give the wrestlers some empowerment, it'll get better. But anyway, we kind of went off on an aside there. Point is,
and you know what?
Dolph Ziggler.
It was because of Dolph Ziggler that we did that. That's amazing.
It was Dolph Ziggler and Miz.
Well, Miz
that even more so. Dolph Ziggler and Miz got us on a tangent.
Well, I focus more on Dolph Ziggler because Dolph Ziggler really the one that we didn't care about in this feud, but now we do care about him.
Yeah, but they fought so many times over the year, and they just recently fought in a promotion for KFC. Like, that's what I mean. Anyway, it's like I can't even. I don't know. Point being, this show is amazing. I can't remember what came after that. I think it was Becky. I think we're just down to the last two.
I think after
fights.
That was Becky was coming out for a match, and Alexa attacked her.
And Alexa Bliss attacked her. Alexa showing a little bit of her viciousness that she showed on NXT and is finally getting a chance to show. She is so good. Like, Alexa Bliss is so good.
Actually, before that was the only negative part of the show.
What?
It was the only negative part of the show. Kurt Hawkins.
Oh yeah, the Kurt Hawkins thing. Yeah.
Which I find funny, but I also find sad. Because unless, I mean, you know what? They could very well get this over somehow, because it's just, if it were on Raw, I would be saying dead in the water first night, 100%.
It could happen. He could get over. I just don't like the promos.
No, I'm not really a fan of them either. Thinking about them after the fact, I start laughing. But I don't think that's the intention, or maybe it is the intention.
Fuck if I know.
I mean, they have him posing in between his legs. It could be the intention.
I'm pretty sure that's the intention of just look how zany and wacky this guy is.
Nobody does that and expects to be taken seriously.
We'll see. I do agree with the prestige back to the belts comment that Daniel's making in the comment section. I feel like the way they're actually doing a pretty good job of that right now, even on Raw with like Rusev and Reigns, because it's the guys like right outside the Universal Championship. I think that's kind of what they need to do with it. So if you're not fighting for one of the top titles, it's like the next guys, and then there's a mass of people underneath them. I think that's probably the way to do it. But yeah, there are a lot of belts going on right now, and one of the best ways is probably to pit those champions against each other for prestige and all that shit. But yeah, Kurt Hawkins, I don't fucking know. I don't know what he's gonna do. Is he gonna be like in a tag team? Like, what's he doing? What's he there for? I'm sure he's there to job. So I guess it's not that bad.
Before we go into the main event, I'm going to do a live update right now to see if my Yankees won tonight, and
Oh, get over your
if
Yankees.
they won, this will be the best night this year.
Well, the Cardinals are winning 11-5, so I'm pretty happy.
Good for you.
Yeah, they need to win. They need to win out to make the fucking playoffs. So
my boy Gary Sanchez hit his 20th home run tonight. Love
who's
that
that?
guy. Excuse me.
Who's that?
Go fuck yourself.
Oh man. Anyway, that led us to the last match of the night with John Cena on commentary. We had AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. He's a Sox fan, and yes, the Yankees won. That's gonna be a problem. Anyway,
what's gonna be a problem?
Yay, Red Sox. Anyway,
what's gonna be a problem? What's wrong?
I don't know. Is a Red Sox fan and a Yankees fan in the same room? That doesn't sound too good.
Who's a Red Sox fan here?
Daniel Price. Our boy Daniel Price in the comments.
Oh. Well.
Oh.
You know what?
Okay.
You know what? Daniel Price is not Alex Briggs, so that's okay.
Damn, man. That's not cool. Okay. Let's get to the comment or the fucking main event because I ain't got something to say to that. I just wanted to point out real quick about the Styles versus Ambrose match. I said it on Twitter. They started this match by kind of referencing what they were saying in their feud before Cena came back, was that AJ is going to wrestle circles around you, and then Ambrose's retort was, yeah, well, I fight. And you don't want to fight me. So the contrast in their styles matched up evenly because they had that one match, and it started with Styles doing his stuff, and then Ambrose made it a fight. Well, this one started straight as a fight, and it was just cool because it's just the continuity of it. Like, that didn't just disappear because AJ won the title. Like, that's still how their matches work. It just doesn't, like, it just doesn't happen on Raw. It just doesn't happen. Like, anyway, point being, they wrestled. It was great. Styles took a cheap shot at Cena. Cena ends up trying to get in the ring, and he ends up costing Ambrose the match. And Ambrose, or he costs Ambrose the pin, so Ambrose rolls out of the ring and fucking punches Cena in the face and runs back in, takes the pin, and then everybody's pissed, and it's just great. Ends up with Cena standing tall, and everyone's happy. And everyone's happy about Cena being the man standing at the end of the show with the belt. What is happening? We talked about this at the start of the show. Drew, what is happening? Why is this such a great thing?
Because SmackDown is a great thing. It's how, and there would be some people still that are not into Cena winning again, and what, that's fine because
that totally makes sense to me. Like, I think if you're not into it, totally fine. I think everyone can agree that it's a really good story, though.
If you can't agree on that, there's something wrong. You have to. Actually, now I'm looking at the comments right now. Daniel Price literally just said, "I sincerely hope Cena does not go over and get the belt again." So,
yeah, and I think especially with this being like a monumental thing, they're not going to just do it on a random pay-per-view. It's going to happen at like SummerSlam or WrestleMania for him.
Well, I want to pose this question to Mr. Price. Mr. Price, do you think that the story is good, like Alex just said? Because that's the thing too. SmackDown is not just about great wrestling; it's about great storytelling too, and that's something that Raw just severely lacks. It really does.
And I'll reiterate my point earlier in the podcast. I said that the Cena thing, it's so good because Cena was on commentary also trying to he's saying, well, I want to do both. I don't want to just become a part-timer. I want to show my mettle and do all these other things and also be a pro wrestler. He alluded, or he compared himself to Bo Jackson in that regards, where he's playing football and baseball. He's doing both. And it kind of shows, like, Cena's insecurity of wanting to, like, yeah, he's getting old and stuff, and he's having to deal with these younger challengers, and he's trying to, show he's still got it. So by going after that 16th title, he's trying to show he's still got it. And I think that's compelling. Whether he win, like, the decision is going to decide if it's compelling or not. But that's how I interpret this, and I think that's good. So, yay, 12-5 Cardinals. Woo! We doing good. Anyway.
I am happy for you, even though I ragged on you before. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Anyway.
Yeah, so...
Daniel says if it's good, it's questionable.
Talking Smack happened, and unfortunately, we want to get this in early so we don't watch it. But I will be watching as soon as I press end broadcast. I will be watching that because Talking Smack is just as good as SmackDown.
Yeah, Daniel, totally agree. Burn the feuds with Orton and Ryder for sure. Yeah, I just think we need to all make a pact as wrestling fans to not watch Raw, watch SmackDown. And hopefully we'll force Raw to change.
And this is a shoot, ladies and gentlemen. Don't expect much from Smark City on Monday nights.
This is a shoot. Look at you using wrestling terminology. Yeah, we're a little disillusioned with Raw right now. And we're not really making money off this. We're doing it because we love wrestling. And it's a lot to ask for a podcast that we're not even into, So,
and we don't want to be, we talked on the last podcast about, the one that we did right after the pay-per-view that I already forgot the name of.
What was it? I already forgot it too. Backlash was the SmackDown one. I remember because it was awesome.
Holy crap.
Clash of Champions.
Clash of Champions, thank you.
On top of this.
Jesus Christ, that's terrible. So I said on the Clash of Champions, the Clash of Suck podcast.
Clash of Suck. Yeah, we did that.
That, we don't always want to be negative, and we feel bad about being negative because Edward says boycott Raw. But pretty much that's what we're doing.
Let's all remember we're consumers here. We don't have to stay around. But yeah, get back to your point about our it's kind of our decision to be positive. Yeah, and you talked about that.
We started Smark City wanting to be the positivity in the Smark community. And when we say the Smark community, we don't really mean the Smark community. This is all a rib, ladies and gentlemen. We're not really Smarks.
It was ironic. We are Smarks, but we're not, because we're Smarks that want to be Marks. You know what I mean? We want to be influenced and giddy about wrestling, and we don't like hating on it because, it just gets old. And there are people on the internet who just thrive off hating on things, and we don't want to be that. But when a show is not good, which Raw just isn't right now, our decision is not to hate on it; it's just to not watch it. So,
we're trying to make Smarks great again.
We're trying to make Smarks great for the first time, because they're also the ones doing the fucking Full Sail chants and all that. So,
and how many times do I say that Full Sail can go get it with a cactus? Okay, I hate them. If anyone from Full Sail happens to end up listening to this, fuck you. Okay, you're terrible.
I don't hate Full Sail. I just think they're too cliquey. They need to.
Hate it how you like to get yourselves over, and because the idiot smarks who have the WWE network watch you and then think they can go to a Raw or a SmackDown and do the same thing. Fuck you. That's all I say.
Anyway, I think we've touched on everything. We have one more week until another SmackDown pay-per-view, don't we?
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, it's not this Sunday.
Yeah, that's true. So we're looking at probably, let's see. We're looking, obviously, Miz Ziggler career match. Oh, my God, I can't believe they're having a career match for Ziggler. That's crazy. Triple threat for
let's do an early prediction on that.
We'll
do it again.
Give me a sec. Let me list them first, and then we can do some quick.
Well, no, I don't want to predict everything. I just want to predict that.
Well, I'm just trying to list the ones I know that I know are happening. Becky Lynch versus Bliss, that's happening. Carmella versus Nikki is probably happening. Triple threat for the World Championship. Miz Ziggler.
And tags, I imagine.
And tags. It's probably going to be tag champions Rye Slater. What's their name? Do we have a name for them?
I think I've seen a lot of people say Slater Rhino. But okay. I don't really agree with that.
Anyway, so the Usos are going to beat them for the titles, and so that's good. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about Miz Ziggler. Who do you think wins that?
Honestly, I feel like Ziggler will win because you've got to capitalize on it now. Like you've got to put the belt on him, and you've got to just go balls to the wall.
You got to go with it. Yeah, I think so too. Edward says he goes to a lot of the Full Sail events. Look at you. Look at you being a Full Sailer.
Actually, he said he doesn't go to Full Sail, but he
doesn't go to Full Sail, but I've went to most events there.
Oh, Full Sail, okay, I get it.
Yeah, so he's not a student. Point being, he's been at tapings. That's cool. I wish I could go. That'd be fun.
I would rather go to a house show in Brooklyn.
You would have so much fun at Full Sail, don't even lie.
I would not, because
You totally would.
I have to turn off NXT because of them. How could I?
Beauty and that man beast. I like it. That's a good tag team name, especially if you say it with a little oomph. How
could I sit in the same room with them when I can't even watch them on the network?
Because you'd be so focused on the show.
They take me out of the show, dude. Like I can't even pay attention to the show.
You're silly. You're silly.
You're an asshole.
No, I'm not. I'm just more tolerant. People don't annoy me that much, except JBL. Fuck JBL. Anyway,
and Byron Jackson apparently because
Byron's a tool as well. Anyway,
that wasn't irrational at all. But anyway, let's move on.
Well, it's not. It's not. He's not good. So I think Miz loses the belt. I mean, there have been rumors of Ziggler retiring soon, but I don't think it's now.
No, I don't think so either. I think that they're doing this to make us, we're smart, to make people who maybe are not as into what's going on behind the scenes think that he's going to lose and retire.
I think that's kind of the way to go, or the way they're doing this. I think it's just good to have a career match because that's different. And when was the last time you saw one of those? Was it Michaels?
I think so.
Holy shit, that's crazy. Of course, okay, of course Ziggler's doing it because Michaels did it. Anyway,
they've done the I quit matches from time to time, but that's
yeah. Edward, I'm in your corner with that. I'm cool with the crowd being loud. Like you can chant a lot of stuff that I may not be like into, as long as you're loud and enthusiastic about being there. But there are some chants that Full Sail. Y'all need to cool it a little bit. The Mamma Mia chant. I haven't heard many of those. I need to start watching NXT again.
Yeah, Alex, our ex-NXT guy now, by the way. He doesn't do NXT anymore.
Yeah, Balor got called up.
Because, and if you
because that's not obvious that's my favorite wrestler by my thumbnail or anything. Anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
So yeah, you've got to capitalize on Ziggler's heat right now because
yeah.
he's
I
he's
agree.
got fire, and you've got to do something with it finally. After all these years, after all these, pushes and then push him off a cliff, and pushes and
Yeah.
push him off a cliff.
What I would do if I were them, I would have him win the Intercontinental title. I'd have him feud with Miz. I'd have him win that feud with Miz and have Miz move on. And then I would bring in Cena to face him. And I would have Ziggler beat him.
Interesting.
And then I would give, Ziggler a pretty good run where he's facing pretty much everybody except for like Wyatt, Styles. You know what I mean? And then maybe get another shot at Ambrose. Only this time they're fighting for the Intercontinental title. And then I think you got a heel turn in him. And then that's probably, at that point, the end of his career. But that'd be, yeah, sounds good. Like, I'm cool with Ziggler. I'm cool with him. I just needed more, and I got it tonight.
And you can tell now that the momentum is shifting, and they're actually going to do something with him now.
Yeah.
Because look, okay, so let's say Miz wins. I don't necessarily think that would mean the literal end of Ziggler. Maybe he'd go away for a little while, but then Miz will continue cheating. He'll continue, with the next whoever he feuds next.
And the nice thing is that Miz doesn't really need a title. He is so good that he doesn't have to be around the title to be compelling. I'd love to see a Miz feud with Apollo Crews for real, something like that. That'd be fun.
To be honest, if Miz loses the Intercontinental Championship, I think he should move to the main event because I think he deserves to be there.
Yeah, it's a little crowded around that main event. You got Styles, Cena, Ambrose, Wyatt is around there, Orton's around there.
Hold on, let me interrupt you. I gotta put the accent there. Interrupting.
You're a little more gentle. I just cut across can't clean like a knife.
Let me just reiterate once again. I live in an apartment building, and I don't be loud.
I don't.
And
I
you
can
don't.
Be loud.
And I can't punch you in the face either because we're
yeah, exactly. It's a great setup. I don't get punched. We're good.
I do control these things now.
You do. That's true.
I'm not evil enough to hang up on you.
Like, fuck, you aren't.
Hey, don't tempt me. Anyway. Fuck, what were I saying? I forgot what I was saying.
I don't know. You were going to reiterate a point.
Asshole.
I think we kind of run out of stuff to say this.
I remember. The reason why I was saying that Miz should move to the main event is because rumors say that Cena and Ambrose will be taking time off soon.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why Ambrose.
Part of me wonders if Wyatt is being jobbed so much because he's the son of the IRS. Yeah, that could be true. How is he still so over, though? That's what's crazy.
Who?
Wyatt. Like, he gets reactions.
Yeah, he does.
Despite never winning.
He does, but it's not as good as it should be.
It's not as good as it should be. His peak is what it was with Daniel Bryan when they feuded. You book him strong, you have those kind of feuds all day long. I said it on Twitter. I think they should build up Wyatt and even his family members and have Wyatt win the title eventually and have him feud with AJ Styles. And then by default, Club versus Wyatt family. Because you got a lot to play with there. That would be super fun.
That would be interesting. See, that's how you could make this brand split interesting, is by having, the Club on separate brands, having
Wyatt family,
And then when a big four or big five, whatever, however many there are, pay-per-view comes where both brands are there together, they could actually have a match.
Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah, cross-brand warfare. That sounds fun. But yeah, man, this show is just so good. And I think you're right, Daniel. I think they're holding out hope that you're going to get something really fun with him. I think casuals just like him because he's interesting. I think the Smarks are still sticking with him because they recognize his talent, and they're just like, man, the day they do something with him is just going to be glorious. And
because we've seen flashes of that, and then
yeah, it happens. It happens all the time, but they don't ever capitalize on it. So hopefully they do. But with all that said, with everything we've said tonight, I think SmackDown's just an A+ show. They do everything logically, and you can just sit down and enjoy wrestling. And there aren't enough shows where you get to do that anymore. So I'm out of things to say. What about you?
I'm sad that it's all over and we have to wait another week.
But I should have been put in the Wyatt family. You guys are crazy. Well, Bo would be fun in there if they did it right. But yeah, I don't know, man. No CWC, which is sad. We might do NXT. I might do NXT tomorrow. We'll see. Depends on how
I was going to say I'll probably check it out tomorrow because I haven't seen it. And I love Bobby Roode now. So
yeah, Bobby Roode, glorious. No, I won't give in. I won't give in till I'm victorious. Anyway.
Oh no! Please go on.
And I will defend.
You have a much better singing voice than I do. So
thank you. Anyway, so folks, I think that's our show. By all means, let us know in the comments which is out of the show. We will be looking because we like attention, and we will totally respond and love you to bits. You can check us out on thesmarkcity.com. We're working on written content. We're trying to give you stuff. It's just been difficult right now because, like I said earlier, we're not in a money making state, so it's hard. Shout
out to Mr. Brian Bonagura, who does our weekly Raw versus SmackDown thing post, and also the Lucha Underground
thing. Yeah, he does Lucha as well. So if you're into Lucha Underground, check that out for sure on our site. What I would like to put forth is we're working on written content. It's a work in progress. We've got ideas, but we're throwing them around. If there is some written content you would like to see, let us know. If you have an idea, let us know. We will totally look into doing it for you. We're here to give wrestling fans a platform to talk about wrestling in a place where it's not just going to get shit on. You know what I mean? So for real, let us know on thesmarkcity.com. Check us out on Twitter at thesmarkcity, facebook.com/thesmarkcity. We're around. We're hopefully active enough to engage you at any hour. All of our guys sleep at weird hours anyway. So yeah, I think that's our show, man. You got anything else to say?
No, I'd just like to hear you sing again.
I'm not singing anymore. Now I'm on this. Now it's like it's not impulsive. I gotta sing impulsively. It's not I can't get on stage and sing. It's gotta be natural.
Come on, you can give us something.
No.
How could you deny the 4 viewers of this podcast?
First off, don't give away the number. We gotta act like this shit's getting thousands of views.
I didn't say 4 was the exact number. I just came up with the top of my head.
Sure. Oh, okay. Why didn't you come up with a bigger number? Why couldn't it be a bigger number?
I was joking and saying that we obviously are getting thousands of views, but we're being humble.
Drew, you're... Oh, man. I need to go do schoolwork because I'm in college, and college, requires schoolwork. So
I'm in college too.
You are in college,
and I also have schoolwork.
You do have schoolwork. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.